Welcome back to the Buffalo Take. This is episode 7. I'm Cam Dixon. I'm here with Travis Ojabina.
What's up, guys?
This week in sports was another good one. I mean, it's always a good week when sports are on. But college football's winding down, NFL's getting there, and we're seeing other sports pick up, like college basketball, which is getting into full swing almost here. And I will say it's really not basketball season to me until football's over, but
No, I agree.
we'll uh, we'll get there when it happens. So, get right into college football. Last week was an interesting one to say the least.
Yes, it was.
A lot of good games, rivalry.
And a very sad week, too.
It was, yeah, it was a tough loss for Ohio State. But, Michigan played a hell of a game,
Yeah.
and they did it for Zach Zinter, who's an NFL prospect, hell of a offensive guard. Unfortunately, I believe he broke his leg, so he will be out for the remainder of the season, which sucks. Kicking off on Maction, UB lost again.
What a surprise.
Well, yeah, right. All right, but besides that, Thursday, low scoring Egg Bowl,
Yeah.
17-7.
Yeah.
But Lane Kiffin gets another Egg Bowl win. Shout out to Lane.
Yeah, they had a solid season.
Yeah, Ole Miss is a good team. They're always right there. They're kind of like this year's Missouri. They're always right there, but obviously Georgia, Alabama,
Yeah.
LSU, those teams are just way too good.
Mm.
And then Friday was a fun slate. Oregon, they dominated Oregon State.
Yeah.
Oregon is a very good football team.
And Bo Nix.
He's up there for Heisman.
Yeah. He
He's
is.
a hell of a quarterback. They get the win there, and then Texas just puts up
Destroys
57.
Texas Tech.
Was that the most points they put up this season?
It might have been.
I think it was because
Quinn Ewers only had 196 passing yards.
yeah, and Arch Manning got in the game.
Yeah, you did.
Good for him.
That's
Yeah, 57 points is the most they put up all season, and they
Wow.
advanced to the Big 12 championship against Oklahoma State this next week.
Mhm.
And then Missouri blew out Arkansas, which was not a surprise. Missouri's also a good team. Top
State
10.
blew out Michigan State.
42-0. Their offense finally comes alive, but everybody looks good against Michigan State this year.
Yeah, that's true.
So, still a good win nonetheless. TCU and Oklahoma was
What a
114 total
Yeah.
points.
That's insane.
I saw the final score. I didn't catch any of the game, but
Yeah.
69-45. Dylan Gabriel,
Nice.
Heisman candidate, probably won't be a finalist, but he's up there.
Hmm.
And another Big Ten game, which another record-breaking under,
Bro,
13-10. It was 24.5.
Iowa.
Jeez.
That's just so dumb to me that they are in the Big Ten championship.
Yeah, the
So
Big Ten
dumb.
West is just,
It's so dumb.
well, at least next year it'll be done away with.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't know. Did you see Iowa's first half and second half total points is set at
Oh, yeah.
a half a point
Yep.
against Michigan?
That's insane.
That's going to be. I mean, I feel like I would take the over because they're going to score. Like, they're going to, like, at least get 3 points, right? Unless they get absolutely just dicked on. But
You never know. They scored 0 points against Penn State, so
that is true. That is true. Yeah, they might get messed up pretty
Yeah.
bad.
we'll see.
And then Tulane handles UTSA to move on to the American. I thought it'd be a closer game than that, but Tulane showed up big in this one.
Yeah.
They played good. Miami beats Boston College, and then a couple other good games. I will say, Levi Williams, quarterback at Utah State, he had, I think it was a 4-touchdown game or something like that in the double overtime win over New Mexico. And now he is going to be a Navy SEAL. He's not doing his
I
his
saw
final
that.
year of college
I
football.
think you sent that to me, right?
Yeah. Someone in the comments said, I didn't know the transfer portal worked like that. That was pretty funny. But yeah, shout out to him serving the country.
Yeah.
Shout out Levi Williams. He actually went to Wyoming, if you didn't know that, like Josh
Oh,
Allen.
really?
And moving on to Saturday, Georgia narrowly beats Georgia Tech. I mean, it's a rivalry game, these two
It's a
schools.
rivalry game, so
Yeah. These are one of those games. This is one of those games that's just got unmatched hate.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember George Pickens.
Yeah.
going at the one DB. But besides that, Georgia gets a win. They stay undefeated, moving on to Alabama. So that'll be a good one. And
That'll
then,
be a good one.
like we mentioned, Michigan beats Ohio State in the Big House. Just a tough game. Kyle McCord.
It was a great game, though.
Interception. It was a great
really
game.
good game.
One
And
of
it
the
lived up to
better.
the hype.
Yeah, one of the better games recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, tough late
Blake
game
Corum.
interception. Blake
Farm 2
Corum,
touchdowns.
he's a beast.
Yeah.
But moving on from that, Washington beats Washington State. Another narrow rivalry
Yep.
win, but also
Washington State being 5-7 is crazy.
they fell off.
Yeah.
They were
But
weren't
they
they
didn't.
up to like
the thing is,
top
they
10?
did, but they didn't.
Yeah, they just played well. The Pac-12's tough.
Yeah, it's the Pac-12.
They played a lot of good teams.
Yeah.
They kicked the crap out of Colorado, but
Yeah.
just one more win away. I mean, and then Cam Ward entered the transfer portal, and he's already got
Oh, yeah.
offers.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was
Ohio State was one of them, wasn't
Ohio
it?
State, I think, was one of them.
Yeah.
He's got like $1 million offers from schools already, so we'll see where he goes. I mean, that's going to be a thing to keep an eye on. And then Florida State stays undefeated with a win over Florida.
Yeah.
Tate Rodemaker.
Wow.
I mean, he didn't really have to do much. Florida
Yeah,
State
no.
is so good.
Yeah,
he-
Florida is not that good this year.
Yeah. All Tate has to do is just stay. It's kind of like a Brock Purdy situation, like earlier in his
Yeah.
career. If he throws 2 touchdown passes, 200 yards, and just stays efficient and accurate, they'll win.
Yeah.
They got such a good defense, great weapons. I don't know. I like this Florida State team. It sucks that Jordan Travis is out, but we'll see what they can do.
But if they do end up losing to Louisville, I won't be upset as long as everybody else that needs to lose for Ohio State to get in.
Yeah, Ohio State. Yes, they still have a chance, but they
They do
need
have a
they need
chance
some
to-
stuff to happen.
Yeah.
And then the Iron Bowl. What an ending to that one.
Yeah. That was crazy.
That sucks
like-
for Auburn fans, but
Auburn, that's like something that would happen to the Bills.
oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
100%.
Jalen Milroe, I think he's cemented himself as a definite Heisman candidate.
Yep.
What a pass! I mean,
Yeah.
beautiful
That
ball.
was insane.
Although I will say Auburn's defense kind of broke down on the last play because
Mm-hmm.
if you're playing prevent, there shouldn't end up being just a one-on-one in the back corner of the end
No.
zone.
Yeah.
So, but what are you gonna do? I mean, 4th and 31. That's a Hail Mary right there, pretty much.
Yeah.
What
And
a
they
win.
stay alive.
They stay alive, and now they take on Georgia. And then Kentucky beats Louisville.
Yeah.
What a win. I mean, Louisville, that's the second time this season where Louisville's had the chance to break into the college playoff,
Mm-hmm.
and they've lost. The first one was
Yep.
against Pitt, which was a terrible loss, and this one's in a rivalry game, which is not going to look good even if they somehow beat Florida State.
Yeah, no.
So I think Louisville's finally fizzled out.
Yeah, I think they're done.
Tough to see it, but And then LSU, good one over
Dude,
Texas
Daniels,
A&M.
another game.
Another great game. Texas A&M played their third string quarterback,
Really?
Jalen Henderson.
I did not watch it. I've actually wait. Yeah, no, I didn't watch any of that game.
It was on during the
Ohio
Michigan
State.
Ohio State
Yeah.
game. I think it was.
Yeah.
I think there was like a little bit where it was halftime of Ohio State Michigan,
Yeah.
and we turned it on. But besides that, I didn't catch much.
Yeah.
I did see LSU's. They wore the throwback jerseys, I believe. Those look good. But besides that, good win for LSU. They stay up in the top 15.
Yep.
Arizona beats on Arizona State. Noah Fafita, 527 passing yards. They wanted this win
That's-
bad.
That's absurd.
Yeah.
527 passing yards.
Yeah, that was a big statement for the state of Arizona.
Yeah.
But Arizona's they're having a great season.
Yeah.
Notre Dame beats Stanford,
Beat
like
Stanford.
we all expect.
Yep.
Kansas State, I didn't even realize this game happened because I was already, basically asleep by this point. Not asleep.
Mm-hmm.
We all know what I mean. But
Yeah.
Iowa State gets the win over Kansas State. I did see this game was in the snow, though. I woke up to that. So, but a good win for Iowa State. I believe Kansas State stayed ranked though after last night. So,
Hmm.
and then the double overtime game, BYU.
You said this, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't know if I said BYU would win, but I think I said the same thing as last week. They'd put up a fight
Yeah,
against Oklahoma State.
yeah.
I BYU was up big early. I think they were up by 3 scores at halftime,
Oh,
and then
jeez.
they fought all the way to the end. Good job by Oklahoma State coming back. I mean, Ollie Gordon put up 166 yards, put himself back in the top 10 for Heisman. I mean, you shouldn't have to go to double overtime with BYU, but
Yeah,
it's a good
no.
win
And now
nonetheless.
they play
Texas,
Texas. Yeah,
Big 12 championship. I
yeah,
I don't know how it's gonna go for them, but
yeah.
we'll get to that when we get there. Tennessee beats Vanderbilt like we all expected. Not one of the games people were watching.
UNC loses again.
Yeah, not a surprise, but I did not realize NC State was this good.
Yeah, no.
They're a solid team. Brennan Armstrong's finally coming into his own. I mean, not coming into his own. He's like a fifth-year senior or something like that. But
Yeah.
he struggled early with injuries too, and then now he's playing good. But good win for NC State. Clemson and South Carolina, 23 total points. Nothing really going on there. South Carolina does miss a bowl game though,
And
and
Spencer Rattler's declaring.
yeah,
So,
we'll see how that goes for him.
yeah.
But what are you gonna do? Liberty beats UTEP to finish their season undefeated. Shout out to them. Although they haven't played one Power 5 team, they're still undefeated. Still got to win the games. The Cum Bowl. UConn beats UMass. Oh, God. That game is always fun.
UConn and UMass. What a game.
Yeah, the probably 2 worst teams in Division One football.
Yeah.
But, you know. Other than that, Syracuse, bowl eligible.
Let's go.
Thank the Lord. Although we did fire Dino Babers, we got a new head coach. Talk about that in a little bit. Utah beats Colorado. No Shadur Sanders. Still Colorado put up a fight, though.
Yeah.
Good for them. And then, yeah, pretty much all the same. James Madison
Legit, yeah.
finishes with 1 loss.
Mhm.
And then California beat UCLA 33-7. And like we
I did
said,
not even see that.
yeah, that was another one that was late night that
What?
that I had to wake up to. Um,
It's so random.
like we said last week, Chip Kelly, it was rumored that he was going to get fired, and
Yeah.
now it's rumored that he's going to stay,
Yeah. I saw that.
even after they lost to California. So, hey, UCLA, do whatever you want. I'm not a
Yeah.
UCLA fan. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, no.
But my personal opinion, it's time for him to go.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
And then one thing before we move on, SMU and Navy. That was another game that was on during Ohio State Michigan.
Mm.
I was just scrolling through scores. It was 52-14 at halftime. SMU
What
had to
was the
score
final?
59-14. They scored 7. They took their foot completely off the gas. They were on track for 104 points, and they won the second half 7-0.
Well, I'm sure they put in their backups.
Well, yeah, of course they had
Yeah.
to have. Then with that win, they moved to the American Conference Championship against Tulane, which
Ooh,
I like SMU in this one. I don't know. Tulane
I would
hasn't
agree.
been as impressive as last year, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, a good week of college football, and we move on to the conference championship week. We got 10 games. Starting off on Friday, New Mexico State at undefeated Liberty. Any thoughts on this one?
I don't care who wins. I'm gonna say Liberty's gonna win because they're undefeated. So
Yeah. Liberty
and
should probably get this win and stay undefeated because they haven't had the toughest schedule. So if they want to prove
Yeah.
they're that good, they got to win this game. New Mexico State's a solid team.
yeah,
Their quarterback last year, Diego Pava. I'm sorry if I butchered that. He won them a bowl game last year, and he's doing much of the same this year. They're a very solid team. Don't be surprised if Liberty loses their undefeated season. And
Oh,
then,
well.
yeah, right. And then the real game we're looking forward
I'm
to on
excited for
Friday:
this one.
Oregon at
This is gonna be
Washington
so good.
in Vegas. I don't even know what to think. This is
I
going to.
don't
This
either.
might be the best, although Georgia and Alabama. But besides
No,
that, this might be the
I think
best.
this one will be better. Yeah.
Yeah,
I have no idea who's gonna win this game.
I have
Like
not a
honestly.
clue in the world. I don't even because Washington won the first one,
Yep.
and Oregon's just gotten better. And I'd argue that Washington hasn't really gotten that much better.
Yeah.
Washington's still undefeated. Oregon's got one loss. Both Heisman quarterback candidates. I mean, this is going to be one of the better Pac-12 championships
Yeah.
of recent memory.
It's gonna be a fun one.
I think just for the fun college football scenario purposes,
I honestly do think Oregon's gonna win.
I do
for
think
some
Oregon
reason.
will get it done the second time. It's hard to beat a team twice,
Yeah.
and it'll make the
And
college
it's
football playoff
it was
fun.
at Washington too, right?
Yes,
The
it
first
was,
one?
yeah.
Yeah, so neutral,
Neutral
site
site. It's going to be a good game. I'm
That'll
excited
be a
for
good
that
game.
one. I am very
Yeah.
excited for that one. And then Saturday, first up, Oklahoma State at Texas at AT&T.
Texas should get this done easily.
They should. They should handle Oklahoma State
Yeah.
and have a shot at the playoff. They need a few things to happen, but they're still there.
Mhm.
And it does help they beat Bama, so.
Yeah.
And then Miami, Ohio at Toledo, little Maction at Ford Field. Toledo should get it done, but Miami, Ohio's a tough team. That's another one where it's not the Power 5
Yeah.
conference championship, so there's not going to be a ton of eyes on that, but it should be a good game for half times
Mhm.
and just flipping through. Boise State and UNLV also at Vegas. They got 2 conference championships
Oh yeah.
back-to-back days.
Interesting. I don't think anybody's gonna be watching this one though.
Nope. Although it is on at 3, so there's like an hour in between
Yeah,
that and the
true.
Georgia
That is
Alabama
true.
game. So maybe somebody will watch it. But Boise State's always a good Mountain West team. UNLV's a solid team this year. I don't know what to think in this one. I think I'd probably take UNLV, but
I don't know. I haven't watched either of these teams this year.
yeah.
Nor do I care about
Right.
either of these teams.
Let's get to one we do care about. Mercedes-Benz
Yes.
Stadium, 4 p.m. on CBS, Georgia, Alabama.
Georgia's gonna win.
I don't know, dude.
Stop. Don't even.
No, I'm
Don't
not kidding. I think
Cam.
Alabama gets it done.
Cam.
I'm serious.
Every time you say that, every time I say that, what happens?
Georgia wins.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, but hear me out. Nick Saban is doing his best coaching in recent history, at least now. Jalen Milroe is breaking out as a Heisman candidate. This Alabama team, this is a must-win for them. Georgia's still probably in if they lose.
It's true.
With
But
Nick
Alabama-
Saban, if Nick Saban is coaching, I like Alabama.
Okay.
This could come back to bite me in the ass, but I'm gonna stick with my guns. I like Alabama this one,
Will
and
this be Georgia's first loss in what, 3 years?
yeah, right. I genuinely believe Alabama can win this game.
Well, yeah, they can.
No, they will. That's you know what I mean. I
don't think
but
they will.
I am
I think Georgia's gonna win this game. Again.
I'm gonna stick with Alabama. But Georgia's a very good team. I'm not gonna say that they're not.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be one hell of a game. Another
It will
one.
be.
I am so that's what I'm setting my 4 to 7 o'clock from. I'm not gonna turn the channel,
Yeah. Me neither.
so that'll be a good one. And then this one I actually am interested in, but I probably won't end up watching because of Georgia Alabama. SMU and Tulane. I said like 2 minutes ago that SMU. I think they could get it done this year.
Mm-hmm.
Tulane's a good team. They're continuing on in the American as one of the better teams. I think it'll be a great game. Although I'll pick SMU. I like SMU.
I'll take Tulane.
Tulane probably will win, but
Yeah, probably.
I've been thinking about this SMU team for a while now, and I can't turn now.
Yeah.
App State and Troy, the Sun Belt final.
App State.
App State, they beat James Madison, so they'd have to win, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't even know. Troy's a good team. They're both good teams. It'll be a
Yeah.
fun game, sure. Um, if it hits the over, it'll be fun. It's probably set at like 56 or something like that. But 8 p.m., two games, Michigan and Iowa at Lucas Oil. We all know what's going to happen.
I was gonna score 3 points the whole game.
Yeah, they won't score a touchdown.
Probably not.
Hopefully Michigan covers and they hit the over. Well, I don't know if they'll hit the over by themselves, but at least they'll cover. It would be fun if Cade McNamara wasn't hurt. If he was playing, that'd be fun because
Yeah.
he's talked
Yeah.
a lot of shit about Michigan. He calls them the other team,
Yeah.
but that would be fun. Yeah, and then Louisville at Florida State, Bank of America Stadium,
Florida State fighting for a playoff spot with this game.
must win.
They win and you're in.
Yep. Louisville's going to be looking to knock them off after a bad loss to Kentucky, so
Yep.
I'm excited for that one.
That'll be a fun one.
So, yeah, 10 games. I mean, pretty
Yeah.
cut and dry, and then move on to Army Navy week, and then it's bowl season. James Madison, Jacksonville State make bowl games.
They made them?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
because there wasn't enough teams.
Oh.
So shout out to the NCAA being a hell of an organization. And then
That's
some award finalists were announced. The Walter Camp National Player of the Year is the, I believe that's a quarterback award, but it's Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, and Michael Penix Jr. I don't even know who's gonna win that one. The quarterback awards, it's the same three finalists for the Davey
Yep.
O'Brien and the Maxwell Award. Those quarterback awards, that could be anybody. It could be different. It could be four different. Well, not four different quarterbacks, but it could be all three different quarterbacks, and then the Heisman could be different. But
Which makes no sense.
it really doesn't. If it's because the Player of the Year, it's two
The
Player of the Year.
should win all of them.
Yeah, exactly. It's two Player of the Year, and then if they're the best quarterback and they're the Player of the Year, that would count. But sometimes it's different, so we'll see what happens there. And then the Bolitnikoff, Marv, Malik
should go to
Neighbors.
Marv, right?
It should be Marv, and then
Yeah.
Romeo Dunze. I don't know if I said that right. All three of them are going to be. They should be first round picks.
hmm
So good set there. And then the Doak Walker Award for the best running back. Ollie Gordon.
I like Cody Schrader.
Cody Schrader's a great running back.
Yeah.
He's a tough kid.
hmm
I like him, but it'll probably be Ollie Gordon. And shout out
Probably.
to Amarion Hampton for being on their ACC.
Yeah.
Then the Jim Thorpe Award for the best DB. Cooper DeJean, Malachi Starks, and Trey Taylor from Air Force.
Mm.
It's going to be DeJean or Starks, but it should be DeJean.
hmm
He's a very good DB. Starks is just on one of the best, the best defense. Well, Michigan's probably the best defense, statistically speaking.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that's good. And then Mackey Award for the best tight end. Brock
That should
Bowers
go
is
to
on there,
Brock.
of course, because he's just
Should
so
go to him.
dominant, even though he
Yeah.
hasn't played since, was it week 7 or 8?
Yeah.
And then Dallin Holker, Colorado State, kind of not talked about too much. He was the one who dominated in the Colorado game earlier in
Yeah.
the season. He's been one hell of a tight end, and statistically I think he's been the best. But it's such a, I mean I wouldn't say
that's
political.
like
And then Stover's on there too. But yeah, I just feel like it's gonna be Brock Bowers just because it's Brock Bowers.
yeah.
Which, granted, it should be because if he played the whole season.
Yeah.
But then again, you could argue he didn't play the whole season, so he doesn't really count. I don't know, but he's the best tight end in the class easily.
Yeah.
So, and then Outland Trophy for the best O line and interior D line. Joe Alt from Notre Dame, Cooper Beebe from Kansas State, and then defensive tackle Tavondre Sweat from Texas. It should be Joe Alt. He's probably a top 10 prospect for the draft this year. So Lou Groza for the best kicker. Miami, Ohio kicker Graham Nicholson.
Oh wow.
Wow, little Mac. Will Reichard from Alabama, and then Jose Pisano from UNLV.
Cool name.
Just based off the schools, I feel like they're gonna give it to Will Reichard, right?
Probably.
So I mean, I haven't seen anything from the other two kickers.
Mm-hmm.
And then the best punter, the Ray Guy
Punter.
Award, should be Torrey Taylor from Iowa. But you got Alex Mastromano from Florida State and Matt Hayball from Vanderbilt. Again, I've only heard of Torrey Taylor, so should be him though. He's a good NFL prospect. And then
Yep.
those are your awards so far, I believe. And then I think there's a few other ones that'll be announced soon, but
Mm-hmm.
that's what I've seen. Little coaching changes. Syracuse hires a new head coach, Fran Brown, a a Georgia defensive assistant, not a defensive assistant. I really like the hire. He's got high praise from Georgia players, Kirby Smart, and a whole other load of coaches. So I'm interested to see how he does. And
Yeah.
football and basketball got two new head coaches, so change is happening. And then Mike Elko gets the Texas A&M job. He's a hell of a fit for that job. I like
yeah.
Mike Elko. He should be good
Yeah.
there. Although I don't know if you saw their introduction ceremony or press conference or whatever it was. It kind of looked like a cult meeting, which that's just Texas A&M for you. But and then one more, Jonathan Smith moves
Yep.
from Oregon State to Michigan State. I think it's good for him to get out of Oregon State while he can because it's going to be the Pac-2. So
Yeah. Oh, they didn't change.
I don't even know. The last thing I heard was they're gonna try and do something with the Mountain West.
Hmm.
I haven't really looked too much into it since, but
Yeah. Then good call on him.
yeah, get out when you can.
Yeah.
That's a great hire for Michigan State. I really like Jonathan Smith. I mean, Oregon
Sucks
State's
for Oregon State though.
Yeah.
They're good this year.
Oregon State's a good team. They're gonna lose a couple players. I know their safety Oladapo. He's a very good player, but he'll be going to the draft, I believe. Yeah, but great hire for Michigan State. I really like Jonathan Smith. So, and then last night the playoff rankings were announced. Not many changes, but Florida State gets back up into the top 4. Ohio State drops to 6.
Yep.
Other than that, your top 8 stays the same teams, and then Missouri's at
So-
9.
The only teams top 8 have a chance at making it, basically.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot to see Texas or Alabama in there, but
Mm-hmm.
if they win and they get things to happen, you could see
Yeah.
both those teams in there. So it'll be interesting. And then Heisman pretty much stayed the same.
Mm-hmm.
You got Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr. Yeah. And
That's
if
basically
and if
it.
Penix goes off in the
Yeah.
conference championship, we should see. That'll be a good finalist. And I mean, there's 4 finalists, right? Because I don't even know who would be the 4th finalist. Breaking news: Luis Severino just signed a 1-year, $13 million contract with the Mets.
Whatever. He's hurt all the time.
Wow. I didn't think we would actually let him go.
Seriously?
I mean,
Wow.
it sucks that he's gone. I really liked Severino when he wasn't hurt, but thank God he's gone at the same time. He was dragging this team down.
Mm.
Sucks to see him go, but, had to happen.
Yeah.
Last, before we move on, the transfer portal opened up. A lot of things happened. One of the big things that I've seen, Michigan State lost all 3 quarterbacks within 24 hours.
Jeez.
They lost Noah Kim, their starter, Sam Levitt. I'm forgetting the last one, but he started a few games. Kattenhauser, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
He played in a couple games, so he's their 3rd quarterback that is transferring. And then today alone, Grayson McCall, Coastal Carolina, which I kind of expected. He was hurt a little bit this season, I think, and then
Riley Leonard, too.
Riley Leonard. He might go to A&M.
No, they said Notre Dame.
Really?
That's what they were saying, yeah.
Another ACC rent for Notre Dame? I don't know. It all depends on what his relationship with Mike Elko is. I just assumed that would be the number 1 spot he would go to. Yesterday, EJ Warner, Kurt Warner's son, has entered from Temple. Uh, Solid linebacker slash DB, I guess, from Cincinnati, Deshaun Pace. I believe that is Ivan Pace's brother. Ivan Pace was one hell of a linebacker for Cincinnati. Um, Wake Forest quarterback Mitch Griffiths entered. Purdue wide receiver Deion Burks. I really like. He's very good. I like him. He
Yeah.
entered. Minnesota's quarterback entered. Tyler Van Dyke and Donald Chaney Jr. So two guys
Yep.
who saw some significant playing time. Well, their starting quarterback, of course, he saw significant playing time. But the running back saw significant playing time. Tyler Van Dyke, he's just not lived up to the potential at all.
No.
So that sucks. USC wide receiver. Well, he's listed as a wide receiver, but I thought he was a running back. Raleek Brown. That's kind of because there's too many guys there.
Yep.
But Will Howard, Kansas State quarterback. That's an interesting one, only because he stepped in for Adrian Martinez
Yeah.
last year. He's been playing good. I don't know about this one. And then Trayshawn Ward, too. He just transferred there from Florida State. So see what happens. Another Big 12 starting quarterback, Blake Shapen, entered. I didn't see this one. Mississippi State, Will Rogers
You didn't
entered.
see this one? Yeah.
I did not see that one.
Um,
Nate Johnson entered the transfer portal. The
A
Utah
lot of
third-string
quarterbacks.
quarterback. Yeah, it's going to be another
yeah.
Max Johnson, who that was listed as UNC's best option, I think.
Mhm.
I saw that this morning. Tyler Show from Texas Tech, who transferred from Oregon. Raymond Cottrell, Texas A&M wide receiver. And then that's about it. So
Yeah.
I'm sure we're missing a few people, but it's the ESPN article that I
Yeah.
opened up. But yeah, transfer portal is going to get interesting. We'll probably see more players as time moves on. But
Yeah.
so yeah, that was a lot for college football. But moving on to the NFL, probably going to be a lot to talk about here too, because
Yeah. Tough week.
it's been a long week. We'll kick it off with the Week 12 recap. It was a good week of NFL. I mean, some good games overall, but the one we were focused on was a rough one.
Yes.
But let's start with Thanksgiving. So I woke up to Green Bay beating Detroit,
What's new? Detroit losing on Thanksgiving.
especially with the waxing gibbous.
Yeah.
That's just funny to me. Detroit sucks on Thanksgiving, but they're still a good team.
Mhm.
Just a tough game for them. Dallas blows out Washington.
Mhm.
Deron Bland with another pick six.
That's insane.
I saw on Instagram somebody compared him to Quentin Johnston, like they did the silhouettes, and it's like whose receiving stats are better.
Oh yeah, I did see that too.
That was funny.
Mhm.
But yeah, Deron Bland breaking records. And then San Francisco handles Seattle. Pretty standard, what you would think for Thanksgiving. But a good slate of games nonetheless. Good to
Yeah.
watch. And then Friday, game that I didn't watch at all, but I saw Miami beat up on the Jets.
Mhm. That was bad.
Tim Boyle, like, what are you going to do with Tim Boyle?
I don't know.
But, you know who came back today?
Aaron Rodgers.
He's going to defy all modern medicine with the 21-day practice one. I mean, at this point, they're out of the playoffs, kind of.
Yeah, I don't really
Like,
understand.
They need
why
a
he
lot
would
to
come
happen.
back.
If he really doesn't want to retire, I don't know why he comes back now, but,
Yeah.
I mean, good for him if you're going to return from a
Yeah.
Achilles injury like that. Also, on the Achilles injury, Jalen Phillips tore his Achilles.
Yep.
It's a tough loss.
Mhm.
Kind of sucks. It was non-contact, and you could see it was kind of like Kevin Durant's injury, where you could see him push off, and it
Yep.
just kind of popped. That sucks, but
Yeah.
it happens. Sunday, Atlanta takes first place in the NFC South with a win over New Orleans. That NFC
It's
South
crazy to me
is so
because the Panthers can still.
dumb. Oh yeah, they could still host a playoff game,
Yeah.
and they'd be at best 7-10.
Mhm. That's insane.
The NFC South is such a mystery.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh beats Cincinnati, and for the first time, no Matt Canada, they go over 400 yards.
Yeah.
Wow. And they still only scored 16 points.
Yep.
It reminded me of the clip from The Office where Andy was the manager, and they like did some point system, like some they had some goal,
Hmm.
and they completed it one day, and they cut to Andy's like they did it in one day, and I feel like that's just what Matt Canada's thinking about right now.
Yep.
I bet Pittsburgh fans are happy about it, but
Hmm.
good win for them. Tennessee beats Carolina, another very low scoring game, and
Both
then
those teams suck.
yeah, and then Frank Reich gets fired after. So
Yep.
my uncles
What's
who live in North Carolina, they were pretty funny when we were texting with them. They said it was a Tepper tantrum, David Tepper, their GM, and
uh,
they said he's a clown. It's pretty funny
I mean,
watching them, but
yeah.
yeah,
Because did you see that like the Reich and somebody else they wanted Stroud
oh
over
yeah,
Young,
yeah, they
and
wanted Stroud over Bryce Young,
yeah,
and Tepper wanted Bryce
yeah,
Young. So what are you gonna do? But we'll
yeah.
see who Carolina brings in next. Um,
Hmm.
they're gonna struggle.
Yeah.
Seeing this game, I realize we haven't talked about the Colts at all, and
No,
they are on fire.
they, yeah,
They
out
went.
of nowhere.
I think they were one of four teams, right? It was four teams who went
Yeah.
undefeated in November,
Yep.
and them in Denver.
Hmm.
I mean, Peyton Manning must be having a
They
great
just
time.
turned their seasons around, both of them.
Yeah, good for Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Good win over Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's been struggling.
Yeah.
They could
Unfortunately.
easily be in first in the
Yeah.
NFC South. But
Maybe if they were good, I would go to some games.
yeah, right. Yeah, if Baker was playing like he used to, and then Tommy DeVito, the Italian stallion, another win.
Only 10 to
Yeah,
7
people were acting
against the
like he threw four
Patriots.
touchdown passes.
Yeah.
It is funny though. Did you
Yeah,
see
it
his
is.
family? The most
Yeah, I
Italian
think, yeah.
people you've ever seen in your life.
Uh-huh.
Good for Tommy DeVito.
Eh.
He's gonna be kind of like Joe Girard for me, because Joe
Mhm.
Girard transferred to Clemson, and I saw him beat Alabama last night in college basketball. But that's kind of a similar transfer from Syracuse. But good for him. Good for the Giants. They got another win. New England sucks. Hell yeah.
Yep.
And then Jacksonville beats Houston. Great game.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
Tough missed
Except,
field goal at the end.
yeah, how far was that?
50, 50 something. Was it
Yeah.
59?
Yep. Or something like that,
Something
but he
like
missed
that.
it.
Yeah,
Of
just
course he missed it.
drilled.
Of course he missed it.
And you know who did make it?
Yeah.
In worse conditions, outside. I'm gonna lose my shit here in a second here. So before we get too hot, let's. I will say though, I did like when he missed the field goal. There were some Houston fans that the broadcast showed. They were having a good time still, because they didn't expect to be here.
Yeah.
Jacksonville's one hell of a team, and Houston's still gonna have a good season. Just a hell of a game.
Yeah.
Shout out to Houston. Denver beats Cleveland like we all expected. I think Dorian Thompson-Robinson got out with a concussion.
Yeah.
Another
So the whole
team.
thing-
I mean, we talked about Denver a little bit more than the Colts, but another team that went undefeated
Yeah.
in the month
That's
of.
insane. They really turned it around.
They did. Good for Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And LA beats up on Arizona. That was one of the swing games where I said, "Screw it, let's do it."
Yeah.
Yours was
Who
the
did I pick?
Panthers. You had the Rams. I had the Cardinals. And yeah, the Rams just played great. Kyron Williams had a great game. Arizona's going to struggle. Hopefully, Kyler Murray can find his footing next year when they get a couple draft picks and see
Yeah.
what happens. After starting up 14-0, though, Vegas puts up 3 points the rest of the game and loses to Kansas City. That was a tough watch at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore beat the Chargers. I'm just going to skip right over it.
Yeah.
Good one for Baltimore. Nothing really going on there.
Yeah.
Fire Brandon Staley.
Yeah.
And then we'll finish off with the Monday Night Football game because we'll come back around to.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long. Justin Fields is back.
Yes.
And
Except they scored
12 points. Yeah. They didn't score. Or no.
4 field goals.
Yeah, they didn't score a touchdown. Hawkinson
Yeah,
was
no
the only one to score.
touchdowns.
I did guess that right, though. Hawkinson anytime touchdown scorer.
Yeah.
Somebody had first and last touchdown score. Did you see that? But But yeah, Chicago gets a good win, and Josh Dobbs turns from the pastronaut to the astronaut.
Yep.
I texted you, it's taken a turn for the worst. He threw 4 picks,
That's insane.
and they've only let up 1 touchdown in the
Two, I
last
think
2
you
games.
said. I
2?
think you said two, yeah. But still.
Yeah, and they both lost both of those games. Like, Minnesota's defense is doing everything they can to win these games, and Josh Dobbs is falling apart.
Yep.
Now for this
The
one.
game of the year that the Bills lost again.
Again, yeah, I will say it was a hell of a game.
Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, you have to score more points.
Yeah.
The refs are going to be the refs. You have to score more points. And we had the game, and actually, I want to get your take on this. Whose fault do you think that last play? I mean, not it's a general fault, but like if you had to pick somebody specifically, that last Gabe Davis route, whose fault would you say that was?
If I had to pick one, well, here's the thing. I don't know. Was he supposed to run?
I'm pretty
Post?
sure it was a choice route.
See, I want to say it's on Josh because you can't. I feel like you can't just anticipate it. You gotta like. He had time in the pocket. Like if he waited one more second.
I don't disagree with you. The one person I don't think it's on is Joe Brady.
Oh yeah,
He has
Great
been an
play call.
outstanding play caller
Yeah.
the last 2 weeks. I think I told my dad this. I think Joe Brady's really showing what he's made of, because you didn't really get a good sample size for any team when Carolina, because nobody succeeds
No.
in Carolina. We saw that this week with Frank Reich being fired.
And now Josh Allen's back.
And Josh Allen
Josh Allen MVP numbers.
he statistically and everything else, he's the MVP.
Yeah.
But the voters seem to think wins are a QB stat.
Yep.
So for that reason, he will never win an MVP.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Nothing.
Jalen Hurts is a hell of a quarterback.
Yeah, he was.
You can't deny that.
Except in the first half.
Although in the first half he struggled, but he's clutch.
Yeah.
He is clutch. And I mean Jake Elliott. He God.
59-yard field
He is such a good
in the
kicker.
wind. Are you kidding me? Only something that happens against Buffalo.
He's such a baller, dude. Devonta,
Nobody else makes that. Nobody else makes that.
maybe Justin Tucker, but Justin Tucker's struggling this year too. Well, not
Yeah.
struggling. He's Justin Tucker, but like you know what I mean. He's not having his All-Pro season that he has
Yeah.
every year. Devonta Smith I saw on the Kelsey, one of the clips on TikTok. Devonta Smith calls Jake Elliott Chicken Little, which I just thought was funny. But
Yeah.
man,
What are you gonna do?
I mean, we're still not out of the playoffs. Like we have a tough schedule.
I honestly do think we could win out after that game. After how we've been played the last 2 weeks, we 100% can win out.
I mean, Dallas and Kansas City is going to be tough, and we can afford a
Yeah.
loss to Dallas, but that's if we just want to make the playoffs in general. If we want to win the division, which we still can easily, because Miami plays Dallas and Baltimore at the end of the season,
Yeah.
and those will be the 2 games we need them to lose for them to go 11-6, and all we have to do is beat them at the end of the year and win out.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's so doable.
Yeah, it
With
is.
how they've been playing, it's so doable.
100%, and I'm not going to get my hopes up
Neither
like
am
I
I.
always do.
Right now, I'm thinking we're not making the playoffs.
Yeah, I think that's the general consensus. People think Buffalo's
Yeah.
season's over.
Yeah.
But we're Buffalo, man. We're tough.
Hey, I will say, the Bucks were 6-6.
Yeah, but they had
Won the
Tom
Super
Brady.
Bowl. We have Josh Allen.
Josh Allen's good, but let's be honest.
We have Josh Allen.
All right, I'll agree with you there. We're Buffalo, man. I mean,
Here we are, Buffalo.
we're tough. You think this many years of losing hasn't built up a team?
Yeah. I don't know.
You'd think something would have to give eventually, but you know.
Yeah.
Buffalo.
All right, enough with that.
Yeah, we could get
Let's,
so
move on
deep
to
into
next
that one.
week.
Although I will say before we move on, I did say we have to score more points, but the NFL has to do something about their officiating.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're going to come up with
That
the
was
excuses,
that was horrible.
2 obvious holding calls on Darius
Hmm.
Slay that were not called, and
Yep.
then
The
the
horse
uh,
collar.
the roughing the pass or not the roughing the passer, the
Horse collar.
horse collar. Yeah,
I mean,
even
that's
if you
just
want
bad.
to not call anything, the intentional grounding is not there because Gabe Davis was standing
Yeah.
right there. So even if you don't want to call horse collar, that's fine. It's not an intentional grounding penalty either.
Like they have to do something about it.
Yeah,
Whether I don't know about fining because they don't make that much money, but
yeah,
like at least
just
don't let them ref as many games or
yeah, and
something.
it's Sean
Like
Hokley who's undefeated
yeah.
for the Eagles, and of course he was the head ref because only the Bills,
Hmm.
and even on the broadcast, Tony Romo and Jim Nantz were
Yeah.
saying, "Let's look at this again, see if it was a penalty," and then automatically it happens. We're like, "Oh, that's a penalty right there."
Yeah.
I can't believe they missed that. And if you're gonna come up
That's
with the excuse
horrible.
you can't see it or that the ref that's supposed to be looking at it's not looking, that's bullshit.
And I hate blaming refs for losing games,
Yeah,
but like
because at
they
the end of
had
the like
big
you,
role in us
yeah,
losing.
at the end of the day you have to score more points. But in a game
Yeah.
like that,
It definitely affects it.
yeah, let's move on before the blood
Yeah.
pressure spikes more. Moving on to week 13 though, no Bills game.
Ooh, good game tomorrow night though.
Seattle at Dallas Thursday night game. That's gonna be. It should be a good game. I mean, Dallas is favored by a little bit, but hopefully Seattle
I'm
can put up a fight.
I'm gonna take Dallas.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Dallas too. It's Dallas is having a good year.
Yeah.
Dak could be the MVP.
But he won't be because nobody wants him to be.
Right. It'll be Jalen or Patrick Mahomes.
He's kind of like Josh Allen a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit because
Yeah.
he had the interception problem.
Yeah.
He fixed that though. He's having a good
Mm-hmm.
season.
Yeah, he is.
Sunday, Indianapolis at Tennessee. Like I said, we haven't
Mhm.
talked about the Colts at all,
And they will win this game.
and they will win this game. Chargers at Patriots. Chargers should win.
My pick of the week. Chargers -6.
Chargers minus. Okay, they should cover, right? You'd
Yeah.
think. Yeah, it should be. Well, I'm not gonna say it should be a good game, but Chargers should get the job done.
Yeah.
Patriots are struggling. I think if the Chargers lose, it's time for Brandon Staley to go.
Yeah, I think they were saying that there were rumors about
Yeah,
that.
I thought he was gonna be fired after last week.
Yeah.
Detroit at New Orleans. The Lions should get back into the winning column after this week. Pretty cut and dry. NFC South kind of
Yeah.
sucks. Lions are my pick of the week. They're -4. They should cover pretty easily. So we both have the 1 o'clock slate pick of the weeks. And then another NFC South game. Well, not.
This one will be interesting.
I have no idea who's going to win this one because Atlanta always seems like when they win a game and then they just kind of like fade into
Yeah.
non-existence against the next team.
I think they'll win this one.
I think they will
Jets are
too.
just not playing good right
Yeah,
now.
the Jets, they don't have a quarterback.
They don't have a quarterback.
And there's not much you can do. Your defense can be the best in the league,
Yeah.
and still, if you don't score a single point, you're not going to win a game.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I got the Falcons.
Yep.
So we're sitting at the same team so far. So moving on to Arizona at Pittsburgh.
Take Pittsburgh.
As much as I want to pick against Pittsburgh, they're
know.
going to stay hot, and they're going to win
Yep.
this one. Miami at Washington. You go first on this one. I want to see what you think.
It's at
It's at
Washington.
FedEx Field.
See, I just think Miami's too good to lose to them. It's not gonna happen.
I will agree with you. And I'm going to pick the Dolphins too, but this would be a huge win for
It
the
would be.
Commanders. It would help the Bills a
I
lot.
don't think they will though.
No. And then Denver at Houston, another great game. Houston's got a good schedule.
This is an interesting one.
I don't know who I want to go with.
I don't know. This is a tough pick.
You know what? I've picked Denver the last 2 weeks. I'll pick against them. I'm going to go with the Texans. Texans got to get back into the winning column.
I honestly, yeah, I feel like Houston will win.
It'll be a good game, though. I'm excited for that
It
one.
will be, yeah.
That'll probably be the 1 o'clock game that I'll be watching.
Yeah.
And then moving on to the 4 o'clock games, Carolina at Tampa Bay. This should be
Tampa-
Tampa's win.
Yeah, it should
If it's
be.
not, it's going to be a rough day for
Yeah.
Todd Bowles. but
Yeah.
this should be Tampa's win, so
Hmm.
hopefully. Then Cleveland at Los Angeles Rams.
Cleveland doesn't have a quarterback,
Yeah, again,
so
I think the
LA.
Rams are heating up here,
Yeah.
so I like LA in this one. And then
San Fran, Philly.
Philly's in the gauntlet right now. Josh Allen, Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott for the next 3 weeks. Although we have a similar,
Yeah.
we probably have a worse off based on the
Mhm.
quarterbacks. San Francisco.
I like San Fran this time. Philly's on too much of a high.
I'll make it a swing game.
Okay.
As much as after like whenever the Bills play a team and like I go into it like not hating the team, I always come out hating the team
Yeah.
because the Bills just are the Bills. But at the same time, we've seen San Francisco's low spots. Philly's
I
just
just
been so good.
think San Fran wants revenge so bad now that they actually have a quarterback
Yeah,
that's gonna play the whole
I
game,
agree.
not
Yeah,
hurt.
right. I agree with you there.
I think they're gonna come out and
Yeah,
just
there's a lot of these games that are going to be tough to make swing games on, so we'll make this one a
yeah.
swing game.
Okay.
If that comes back to bite me, so be it. But it should be. I'm just hoping for a great game.
Yeah.
And then Kansas City at Green Bay.
We're gonna go Kansas City.
Kansas City should win pretty easily.
Yeah.
And then Monday Night
Jacksonville.
Football.
Jacksonville should
Cincinnati
win.
at Jacksonville. No quarterback. Well, Jake Browning's fine, but he's not
Yeah.
gonna.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Jacksonville's putting together a good season. A lot of bye weeks this week after none last week,
Yeah.
so it should be a good week.
Hmm.
But those are our picks. One swing game. And speaking of the picks, I now have a 2-game lead.
Yeah, you do.
After last week, I went 10-6, and we had 3 swing games, and I went 2-1 in those. So I take the 1-game lead, and I am 54-33, and you are 52-35. So
Yeah.
that one swing game could help this week if San Francisco wins.
Hmm.
But I will be in the lead just based
Yeah.
off pure picks going into week 14. So Jonathan Taylor got hurt again. I believe he needs thumb surgery, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I did see that correctly. Okay, so he'll be out for multiple weeks.
So Zach Moss gets the starting job back.
Pick him up in fantasy.
Yep.
He's a good running back. Yeah, he's just. I like Zach Moss. I never really disliked him. He just wasn't a great running back in Buffalo. I liked him in college.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sucks that Jonathan Taylor got hurt again.
Hmm.
What are you gonna do? And then Justin Jefferson's back.
Yep.
Finally, needed him back a while ago for fantasy purposes. But that'll be interesting to see how Josh Dobbs and
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson hook up.
Now I'll have a star receiver.
Hopefully that goes good because I want to see the Vikings in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then Shaq Leonard, like we addressed last week, was waived. He passed through waivers, and now he's talking with Dallas and Philly.
Yep.
Should be talking with Buffalo, but
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? Something's
That'll
telling
be
me he's gonna sign with
interesting.
Philly.
Yeah.
He's just gonna
They
make
get
that team
everyone.
so much better.
I know.
Yeah,
They're
so
going all in this year. They want that.
I think
Super
I'd
Bowl.
rather have him sign with Philly
Yeah.
because we play Dallas. But if he doesn't
Yeah.
sign by next week, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And another Philly-related topic: Deshaun Jackson
Sean
retires.
Jackson finally retires.
Congratulations on a hell of a career.
Yep.
Although he kind of hasn't played the last 3 years anyways,
Yeah.
so I kind of just figured he was going to retire anyways.
Yeah.
But he signed a one-day with the Eagles. He retired. One of my favorite wide receivers
Yeah.
back when I used to play Madden 12 or whatever it was. Yeah, great wide receiver. One of the better long ball catchers of all time. Fast as hell. And then his all-time play against the Giants on the punt return. But great career for him.
Yep.
Congratulations to Deshaun Jackson on retirement.
Yeah.
That was a lot of football talk.
Yeah.
So let's move real quick into a couple MLB headlines. Like we broke the news earlier, Luis Severino signs with the Mets. Thank God he's gone. I'm gonna talk to RT, see if he likes that signing. I know he's not gonna like it, but it's gonna be fun messing with him about that. Sonny Gray signed with the Cardinals, another former Yankees pitcher.
Yep.
Good signing for the Cardinals. He's
Mhm.
he's going to be a nice pitcher for them. And then two guys, well, two of three, I think, in my opinion. I texted you earlier. Yamamoto is slowly heating up for the Yankees. I mean,
That would be amazing.
please, can we get something?
Please.
We held out number 18 for him.
Hmm.
I think it's going to happen. And then Juan Soto or Cody Bellinger. I think Cody Bellinger is the more easy one to get
Yeah.
because we don't have to trade for him.
He had two.
Yeah, I like
He
Cody
went back
Bellinger.
to old Bellinger, yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
wouldn't mind
that would,
if we ended up with Cody Bellinger, but I mean, it depends on what we'd have to give up for Juan Soto,
yeah,
but that would be pretty nice.
that would be cool.
And those talks are heating up too.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what Cashman does.
Mhm.
I had a kid come up to me in the gym the other day. I was wearing my Harrison Bader John Boy shirt. He's like, "I like your shirt," and I'm like, "Thanks, man." He's like, "Interesting off season, huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we'll see what we do." So we had a nice little conversation.
Yeah.
It was nice. But moving on to the other one of our teams, the Sabres. Great win over the Rangers the other day.
Yeah. Don't know how that happened.
Me neither. Maybe we caught the Rangers on an off day.
UPL is playing out of his mind.
If he plays consistently, he could be the starter easily.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted UPL to be so good,
Yeah, so
and then
did
I kind of he dealt with a little bit of injuries.
Mhm.
He struggled, and then Devin Levi came in, who just got taken down to Rochester.
Yep.
UPL kind of fell away to the backside.
But now it looks
all he
like
has to do
they're
is play
back.
consistently.
Yeah, he's just gonna be the starter
And
for a
that
little
save, oh my
bit.
God.
Oh my gosh.
What
Yeah.
a save. Just unreal.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful save.
And then Benson, was that after our episode last week? His goal?
Yeah, it was because we went out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when we were at the bar.
Yep.
Yeah. Benson, Zach, that was a week ago.
Yeah.
Holy shit. This felt like so long ago. Zach Benson with one of the dirtiest goals I've seen in a while, for the Sabres at least. Between the legs, fucking bar down.
Mm-hmm.
I love Zach Benson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
they're
Sabres
playing
are on the up and
fine
up. We're
now.
500.
They're staying in the hunt. Yeah.
Yeah. Long season though. Gotta stay consistent. Win games.
Mm-hmm.
In other NHL news, Patrick Kane signed with the Red Wings.
Did not want to come to Buffalo, I guess.
He's too good for his home.
Yep.
Moving on from NHL, college basketball. A lot of big games are going on. It's the ACC and SEC. Syracuse got a big win last night over LSU. The boys balled out.
Mm-hmm.
Judah Mintz had 33 points and absolutely yammed on an LSU defender. It's a great video. Made me have a brighter day for Syracuse basketball. They play Virginia though coming up soon. I think if they win that game, we can declare Syracuse basketball back. That'll be that would be a big win.
Duke's been taking care of business too.
Duke's a solid team.
They haven't played anyone yet though,
Yeah.
really. So
They play right now, right? Or in a little
they're
bit?
playing 9:15 against Arkansas.
9:15, okay. Arkansas is a good team. They've slipped up a little bit, but I think Duke will get the job done. Purdue moved up to number 1. Good for them. Other things going on. I mean, North Carolina and Tennessee's on right now. Last night, Kentucky just smacked Miami, beat them by 20. They exposed them last night. I think they showed what Miami's made of.
Mm-hmm.
And then Georgia Tech beat Mississippi State. I saw that too. Another ACC win. Clemson beat Clemson beat Alabama. South Carolina beat Notre Dame. That's what. But Clemson beat South Carolina in football. Yeah, Clemson's undefeated. They'll probably be ranked next week if they don't lose, if they play for the rest of the week. But
Yeah.
they're a solid team. And St. Bonaventure. I mean, I think all they played was Bucknell on Saturday. Oh, they played Miami, Ohio on Saturday. They beat Bucknell last week. They beat up Miami, Ohio. They beat them by like 30. It was during the Michigan OSU game.
Oh yeah, and
I don't
then
think anybody went to that game. Um,
last week too. Kansas beat Tennessee, and then
yeah,
Purdue.
right.
Oh wait, Tennessee Kansas was already done by the time our
I
recording
think,
was
yeah.
over.
Oh yeah, we
But
recorded during the game.
yeah, and
Yeah,
then
that's
Purdue
right.
Michigan or Purdue Marquette,
Yeah,
and Purdue won by 3 there.
yeah,
For the-
yeah. So just a good week of basketball.
Yeah.
Not a lot of too many changes in the AP poll.
Yeah.
James Madison, they're ranked in something.
Mm-hmm.
They play UB right now, actually. Yeah, I mean, college basketball just gonna roll on, and we're gonna see some big games coming up. Conference play should be starting. I mean,
Couple weeks, a
soon-ish,
week
yeah.
or two.
Yeah, a week or
2
two.
weeks maybe. Yeah.
And then a fun one for the podcast. Our schools play each other in hockey this week
Yeah.
on Saturday. St. Bonaventure versus Tampa I think it's at the Olean Rec Center. It's a big travel for Tampa.
Yeah, but
But,
they play Bonnies, they play I want to say Buffalo, and then there's one more team I forget. So
Yeah.
I mean,
But it should be a good game. Two top four teams. Bonnie's is
yeah.
at 1, Tampa's at 4.
I'm going with my boys at Tampa,
I'll go with Bonnie's. I might
even though
go
I
to the game,
know really.
but it's also during conference championship week, so
Mm.
I don't know. You want to make a little wager on this game?
Sure.
I mean, we don't have to bet money. Let's bet something stupid.
Yeah.
How about if Bonaventure wins, you got to edit the next episode next Wednesday.
Okay.
All right. Actually, I don't know how that's
Okay.
going to work. You might have to send it.
Yeah, I don't
Actually,
either.
it might be fine. But
Yeah.
what do you want if Tampa wins?
Oof. You transfer to Tampa.
Hey, I mean, it's already on the table. I do not like the cold weather, and I know I voluntarily chose 2 cold weather schools in my college career, but I've been looking into it.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
You go to your parents and you go, I'm transferring to Tampa.
I'm like, Mom, Dad, we lost in hockey. I have to transfer now. Yeah, so Tampa wins, I'll transfer. If Bonnie's wins, you got to add the next episode.
Okay.
That's about all we have.
Yeah.
Episode 7 is in the books. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you for listening to episode 7 of the Buffalo Take. Have a good week.
See you guys.